New Orleans Saints trade for Haason Reddick? I don't know, but let's talk about it. In recent reports, the Philadelphia Eagles, gave permission to Haason Reddick to seek a trade. And then Haason Reddick said he didn't want to be traded, but who knows what's going to happen, because at the end of the day, the team makes the decision. Before we get into all my thoughts and the possibility of Haason Reddick, the Falcons today's kicking our ass. What's going on? Can you help a brother out? Can you help me out here? They have almost double the subs this month than we do. So don't be that guy. If you hate the Falcons, subscribe. It's 100% free. And you get daily Saints news, rumors, live shows, short form content, and it's free. Did I mention, by the way, it's free? Subscribe today if you hate the Falcons. Let's dive into Haason Reddick right here. As you know, he's entering the last year of his 3-year, $45 million contract, and he's looking for an extension in Philadelphia. Earlier this week, the Eagles informed Reddick that they would explore trade options per Jordan Schultz. He does, it's worth noting, turn 30 years old in September. So he is a little bit up there in the age column, but you guys might not think of Haason Reddick as a really high-level edge rusher, but I'm here to tell you he's really good. Sneakily, 11 sacks this year. Sneakily, 17 sacks last year. Sneakily, 11 sacks in 2021. Sneakily, 12 and a half sacks in 2020. This guy is a very good football player. And if you don't think of him as a top sack production guy or a top edge rusher in the league, well, I'm here to tell you, since 2022, Haason Reddick is number 4 in the NFL in sacks. It's more than Nick Bosa, who is the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. Says something. Trey Hendrickson, former Saints legend, 53. Myles Garrett, 58. TJ Watt at 62. Haason Reddick, though, with 50 and a half sacks since 2020, that is unbelievable. And then when you take a look at the current sack leaders from this past season versus the numbers that Haason Reddick put up last year, it's not even close. It's not even close, guys. Like, this would be a really, really smart move in terms of production. Financially, that's where things get a little tricky. This is a contract dispute. We saw this happen with Deebo Samuel a couple of years ago. We've started to see this happen with players a lot, where they're saying one thing or they're looking for trades or they explore stuff just so that way they can see how much they can make, give the team they're with the opportunity to pay them that much money, or they leave and take the higher paycheck. Haason Reddick and his agent are seeking an extension. However, I do believe whoever is willing to pay Reddick the most will get him. Like, I think that he wants to stick around in Philly. He went to the University of Temple, or Temple University, out in Philadelphia. Then he's also been good in Philly. Like, I don't know why he would want to leave. Philadelphia is a good team. But if another team is willing to pay him more than what the Eagles are, Haason Reddick might go take that bag. So comment down below for me. Should the Saints trade for Haason Reddick? Just give me a T for trade or a P for pass in the comment section. I want to see what you guys all have to say. And while you're down there, look for the link. It's down in the comment section description of this video for this awesome hat and t-shirt combo from Fanatics. If you use our code chatsports.com/Saints combo, you can get this awesome deal for 30% off. So 2 things, 30% off, 1 happy guy. Makes sense, right? Use the link down below, chatsports.com/Saints combo. That way Fanatics knows we sent you, and that way you can support the show. All right, $5 super chat from Rage Raider. I'm a huge Raider fan. I watch Mitch all the time, but huge Carr fan too. So watch the Saints every weekend. Well, Rage Raider, thank you for checking out our channel. Thank you for supporting Chat Sports as a whole. Mitchell Rhodes, one of the hardest working guys I've ever met. I'm really blessed to have him as a great friend, both in the office and outside of the office. But I do appreciate you for hanging out with us and checking in with the Saints fans on Derek Carr, because let's call it how it is. His first year didn't start off all that well, but second half of the season showed some really good things. Saints 485, yo Trizzy, have the GM of the Saints called you for a job? No, and if anyone has any personal connections to Mickey Loomis, Gail Benson, the New Orleans Saints front office, let them know. I'm more than happy to apply. I love my job here at Chat Sports, so it need to be a little bit of a hybrid role. But I'm more than happy to be a GM for the New Orleans Saints. I also, unfortunately, think I'm a little too smart to be an NFL GM. So there is that. Lore, checking in. Will the Saints sign Steve Wilks as the defensive coordinator? No, they have Joe Woods as their DC. That was a hire that Dennis Allen made when he was promoted to head coach. And Allen he's the defensive guy. Like, I don't see a world where they're going to bring in Steve Wilks. They're not going to move on from Joe Woods. Like, the defense wasn't that bad to where they're going to fire Woods, and it has to happen this year. I also wasn't impressed, like, really at all with the 49ers defense. Steve Wilks was so inconsistent. Like, sure, there's a lot of really good production, or they'd have a really good game here, or they'd have a really good – but then they, excuse my French, they shit the bed when it really matters. Like, I'm okay with leaving Steve Wilks as far away from the Saints as a DC as possible, but if he wants to come in and be a linebackers coach or a cornerbacks coach or, a position coach or whatever, maybe that's why I would do it. Maybe you do it, but outside of that, I'm okay on Steve Wilks. But thank you for the question, Laura. Ronnie, #Saints, if we did draft a late round quarterback, which guy would be your top 2 or 3? All right, so I really like, I want to make sure I get their names right. Michael Pratt. I don't think that he's actually going to go as high in the draft as some people think he is. I actually wouldn't mind him at all. Very, very experienced football player. Has been playing with the Tulane Green Waves. He's a good football player. I actually wouldn't hate bringing him in. Some other quarterbacks. Spencer Rattler wouldn't be a bad example, but he's not going to be like a late round pick. I think he might go in the middle rounds, day 2 maybe even. But those are the 2 quarterbacks this draft that I would be like, let's go get them. Why not? In the later rounds. But outside of that, I just personally believe got to build. You got to have a good offensive line to protect whatever quarterback you got. Saints don't have that right now. So in terms of late round quarterbacks, give me Michael Pratt and Spencer Rattler. Again, I don't think Rattler is going to be a late round pick though. So it's kind of a cop-out answer. But there you go. Walter, will the Saints make any draft day moves? So New Orleans, as we all know, is notorious for trading up in the NFL draft. I don't know if they're actually going to be looking to trade up this year. If they did make a move, don't be surprised if they trade down. Don't be surprised if they trade down in their second round pick. I'd be very shocked if they traded down in their first round pick. Quite frankly, you're picking 14. It's one of the better picks you've had in the last few years. Make the damn selection. Make the damn pick. Like, don't mess around. You can get a very big, impactful player at 14 overall. In terms of round 2, I wouldn't be so opposed to trading back, getting a third or fourth round pick. You just have such limited picks this year, so don't be surprised if they trade back. Rain, $5 super chat. Blake Grupe will be a Hall of Fame kicker. So my thing on Blake Grupe is I understand why people were so upset with him and weren't super high on him. Because of the missed field goal against the Packers. Against the missed field goal against the Texans. The missed field goal against, what was that, the Bucks or the Falcons? I just don't think that it makes a huge difference right now. It's his rookie year, guys. Give the kid a chance. In terms of the production, perfect on extra points. He didn't have any attempts within 19 yards. From 20 to 29, he was 10 for 12. For 30 to 39, he was 6 for 6. For 40 to 49, he was 8 for 10. And for 50 plus, he was 6 and 9 with a long of 55. He was the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week early in the season. So, will he be a Hall of Famer? I don't know. But I also don't think his hate that he's gotten so far is 100% warranted. Sure, put a little bit of heat on him, put a little pressure on him, you got to make kicks in this league to make it around, kid. I understand that. But I think some of the hate and some of the negative talk about him and Headley just comes from fans who don't really know what they're talking about or who are just kind of very base level understanding of what the Saints are trying to do right now. So that's just my thoughts there. I think Blake Grupe is a fine kicker. Very interested to see what they does in year 2, though. But you tell me, Saints fans, I would just want to finish the show with a fun little question. What was the first Saints jersey you ever got? Mine It was an Adidas black Drew Brees jersey. It was awesome. Was it even Adidas? I don't even remember. It was that long ago. I was in like the 4th grade. Drew Brees jersey. It was the black, gold trim, gold number. It was sick. I want to know what your first jersey you got for the Saints player. Couple more questions to get to. Quinn Courtney always checking in. What do you think about the Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas trade rumors floating around? So Michael Thomas will not be traded. He will be a free agent this year. The Saints are going to move on from him. The way his contract is it filled out is he's not really a tradable asset. Alvin Kamara, on the other hand, what I'll say is I'm not surprised there's Alvin Kamara trade rumors. I mean, let's look at any good player. Like, if you're a good player that is on a team that he's either in cap hell or isn't playing well or unhappy in the situation, you're going to be talking about getting traded. Alvin Kamara, I don't think he gets traded, to be honest. But, like, it does make sense for New Orleans because they have limited draft capital. He is expensive, and you could clear a lot of cap space. So I understand why there's trade rumors. I just don't put too much stock into them, and I don't necessarily believe all of them. Like, for example, I saw one today that was from Bleacher Report. Alex K put it out. I put a short on it. It's going crazy right now. It was Alvin Kamara for a 2024 7th-round pick to the Ravens. Like, absolutely the hell not. Like, that is effing stupid. I could not imagine a world. Like, if I'm the New Orleans Saints, I get that call, I go, hang up. Just make a fart sound with my noise and hang up. Just, like, get out of here. But I do think that it makes some sense why there's Alvin Kamara trade rumors out there. Christopher, I think we should draft Jared Verse. This comment wins. This comment is a good comment, as was the Cam Little comment. I love it. Jared Verse would be a very, very good player in New Orleans. Could you imagine like a edge rusher rotation of Cameron Jordan, Isaiah Foskey, Carl Granderson, Jared Verse, Tano Passanio? Feels like it would be a really good setup. I'm not going to lie. It feels like it would be really fun. I love Jared Verse. I'm very high on him, so I would love to see the New Orleans Saints select him.